Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Obviously you guys are wondering how can somebody switch from being an astrophysics major all the way to an English major, and obviously those are two very different things with very different coursework, very different interests, and yeah, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about how I ended up making that switch, why I'm 100% happy that I did take the risk and switch majors through college, and yeah, just if you're finding yourself in the same position or just want to know a little bit more about how you can make such like a polar opposite flip and still come out of college a-okay, make sure to check out the rest of this video. So the first thing that I always just want to preface with this conversation is pursue in school what you find is meaningful, and meaning can be created from a lot of different things. You have a lot of different passions. Each one of us just doesn't have, okay, business, that's the only thing we like. Okay, chemistry, every single thing we like is related to chemistry. Obviously people are multifaceted. We have lots of different likes, interests, passions. So my number one passion going into school was science and astronomy, the universe, physics, all that stuff. So I thought astrophysics would be a perfect match. I did one full year of that coursework and I really enjoyed it. Like I felt like stuff we were learning about was impactful. I really enjoyed, my professors and the labs that we all did. And I definitely had that goal of, going to grad school after my first 4 years and then hopefully pursuing a doctorate and getting a job at NASA, that whole thing. That was the track that I wanted to be on. But about halfway through my freshman year, I also realized that my other passions were like English, writing, journalism, stuff like that. And halfway through my freshman year, I realized I was having so much more fun and my mind was just like very intrigued in the journalism and English courses that I was taking, much more than the science courses. And at that point, I almost made astrophysics and this major my whole identity. So it almost seemed weird and bizarre for me to switch. It was one of those things where, it's like, well, can I switch? Should I switch? I put so much effort and hyped myself up to say, okay, you can do this, let's do it, we gotta commit and everything like that. And then I felt kind of goofy because it's like I committed, did all this stuff, and then realized that I didn't really want to do that. And realizing that is okay because that is just growth and it pursues us and pushes us to go on the path that's really meant for us. So about halfway through, I switched over to an English major. And that prompted me to get involved with the rhetoric of science studies, which is more just like science writing. So it turned out that I kind of combined both my passions of astrophysics and science and astronomy and everything like that with writing about it. So I didn't have to, do the equations and the labs and everything, but I could write about kind of their outcomes and, bring the science to the people and different types of audiences, which is just so amazing. So kind of my experiences being on both sides of the spectrum in college. So we got, the hard sciences and then we got the humanities. Coming from that experiences, I can definitely say that you need both in a functioning society. You need people doing scientific endeavors, studying like that, but you also need humanities and just learning about the human spirit and kind of how we interact and face the world. So I feel like that's one thing that we have to, get a little bit better on as just the society as a whole is we definitely need that balance in between them, and figuring out what that balance is another story. But I think we both, if you're on one side of the spectrum or the other, you can have that appreciation for the work on the other side of the campus and stuff like that. And also I want to say there isn't this like also black and white duality of, hard science, like I said, and humanities. You can be switching in and out of them. Kind of like now what I ended up doing is a little bit of science and it's a little bit of writing, which when I started freshman year, I would have never even imagined that was possible. I never even imagined that route would have been perfect for me. But that's such the nice thing about growth and just taking that leap. Because if you are on the fence about should you switch majors and what's holding you back is just the what ifs, but you're passionate about this thing that you want to switch to, I say just do it because life is too short, to say the what ifs, of course. And then also, once you switch to something that you're truly passionate about and you enjoy doing the everyday work and you feel like you're like pushing your brain, you're pushing your mind, new avenues and doors are going to open up for you as well. Stuff that you wouldn't even know about back when you were making the decision and weighing the pros and cons. So that's definitely something I also want to just instill if you are on the fence about switching. Make sure that you know more stuff is on the horizon, even though you can't even see what's over the horizon, because there might be so many more opportunities, but you just have to take that leap of faith and find out. Also, another thing I wanted to say is the amount of backlash and just kind of like, I wouldn't say, just some people were very taken aback that, you know, how can you switch from this like very impactful major to something that's a little bit like less construed, you know, it's like English, scientific writing. I remember people coming up to me and saying like, can you even do a 4-year degree for that? And it's like, well, now I'm in grad school doing it, so obviously you can. And I have a great job and everything like that. And you can find little niches of stuff that you're passionate about, but also are able to make a living off of and support yourself, which is just something that I really want to let people know. Don't get bogged down by people having this certain perception of, oh, you won't get a job if you're an English major. You know, definitely you have to weigh the pros and cons, like what's the practical direction that I can take these studies in. So just keep your head clear, and if you can see yourself engaging in the practical ways that these majors transfer over to everyday life, then I say go for it. You know, it's kind of interesting, just like the societal perceptions that people have of people of the arts and everything like that. And you know, those things are centrally important to the world because that's how we explain things. You know, so many things just science can't explain, and so many things we need writers and, you know, artists to kind of translate the human spirit into ways that we can understand it, and then that enriches other people's lives. So it's all just like a cycle, and I think we have to respect that cycle when we are picking majors and just noticing and trying to switch and like navigate that whole time, because you know, that's a difficult time when you're faced with like, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to pick? And like I was saying before, not everything is just like, this is your, you know, I picked English, I only like English, that's everything I do. No, one of the greatest things about college is you can kind of bounce around 2 different passions that you have and 2 different scopes of like learning, and kind of just explore all parts of you, because we're all multifaceted, and the best thing is just like gaining experiences and then a job that allows you to explore all those passions in the ways that you want to do. So to end it off, I just want to say, if you are on the fence about switching majors, or, you know, like astrophysics to English, such a large shift, I would say just make the jump, do what you feel right, do what you feel is right in your head, and, you know, more opportunities will definitely arise that you can't even see right now, and I think you'll look back and be super happy with the decision, because why keep on doing something that you know you're not as passionate about as something else? I remember days at the end of like when I was only studying astrophysics, you know, it'd be one of those things where I would just get bogged down by the homework. I'm not like a huge math person, which is kind of contributes to why maybe I didn't enjoy it as much, because, you know, there's a lot of math in it. But that was one of the things I figured out. You know, you can't figure that stuff out unless you try it. Once you try it, you can reevaluate where you are and go to the next stepping stone or whatever other option that you feel is better for you. But yeah, why keep yourself in a situation that you just know isn't going to create the best returns for yourself, and you know you're not getting the most enriching experience out of it anyways? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just kind of wanted to touch base on my experience, because when I mentioned to people that I started college as an astrophysics major and did it as an English major, people are like, whoa, how did that 180 turn occur? So I just kind of wanted to talk through it, and if any of you other people are going through that same experience or just interested in the thought process behind it, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!